It has confirmed that both EFF and Cope MPs will take part in the debate of President Jacob Zuma's State of the Nation address this afternoon. That's despite disrupting the president's address last week. Members of the two parties were ordered by the presiding officer to leave the chamber after continuously disrupting the address. Political parties will debate the State of the Nation address today and tomorrow, and then President Zuma will respond on Thursday. With all parties expected to be present, the ANC says it should be a lively and robust debate. Well, for more on this, we cross now to our reporter Bulelani Phillip, who's outside Parliament. Bulelani, good afternoon to you. If the display of last week is anything to go by, we could see a rather colourful first session today in Parliament.
Good afternoon to you, Natasha, and to the viewers. Yes, definitely today it's going to be one of those well-anticipated days in the parliamentary calendar as political parties from across the spectrum are expected to debate the State of the Nation address by President Jacob Zuma delivered last week. Of course, outside the gates of Parliament, we can see quite a lot of police presence in anticipation of any eventualities, perhaps maybe to try and as well just to be monitoring anybody who may try to interfere with that process. But of course, inside the House, all political parties are expected to bring out their big guns or other first team members, as it were, those that are going to be giving input on some of the issues that were raised by President Jacob Zuma last week. Of course, top on the agenda is going to be the issue of job creation as well as stimulating economic growth. There were some political parties that expressed that not enough was said by the president last week with regards to this matter, and there's been no pragmatic ways of trying to arrest what people may see as a declining economic growth. They also would expect the president, or rather the political parties, to be debating the issue of these ailing and struggling state-owned enterprises. You'll remember that the president did outline that government is going to be reviewing some of these SOEs, and those that do not contribute to the government's developmental agenda are expected to be phased out. As to which one of those, it's still anybody's guess now. But of course, the other thing that perhaps maybe political parties had raised issue with was that there was very little said about allocations for the national student financial aid schemes, given the ongoing protests by students across the country. And perhaps maybe one of those issues that are expected to be debated along those things is whether how much or is it going to go enough the additional funding that has been allocated by the government, Natasha?
Bulelani, so we had some critique that, as you say, the president focused enough attention on an issue such as higher education, but then the issue of the drought, that's another interest of debate that we could see brought to light in today's session.
Well, I would suspect that, the issue of higher education might feature prominently amongst the debates. But of course, you must remember that the State of the Nation address really gives a broad overview of government's plan with regards to various issues. And perhaps maybe the issue of allocation and funding of NSFAS might be an issue that would be said, perhaps maybe by the ANC, that it's a matter that will be canvassed and addressed comprehensively when Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan delivers his budget speech on February 24. So perhaps maybe some of the issues may have not been canvassed comprehensively by the president earlier on, but of course I'm sure some of them will be perhaps maybe deferred to the budget speech as issues that will be dealt with there comprehensively.
All right, Bulelani, thank you very much. We'll leave it there. Bulelani Phillip live from Parliament ahead of that first session that starts this afternoon, where MPs will be debating last week's State of the Nation address.